would you say were the happiest times in your life?
When I was dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love my dancing years. Yes.
I heard you say before that you said you couldn't dance. Was that something you really learned and got good at?
What's that, the dancing?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was I loved it, yes. And I used to belong to Chatswood. It was sort of a musical society sort of thing. I don't know what you'd call it now. And we'd have plays and you'd sing and all that sort of thing, you know. I wouldn't have minded being a singer or something like that. I don't know. When you're young and silly, that's what it is.
And looking back across what you remember of your life now, what would you say have been the peak experiences in your life? You might want to take some time to think about that because it's quite a big question.
Well, I guess peak experiences are over the course of time. I think meeting all my friends at the Black Cat and forming a really, really strong network of friends has been probably the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And also living in Singapore is probably something that I recall quite strongly.
Yeah. We talk about your music a little bit.
Picking up a guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's been quite important to you. Like, have your what's formed your musical direction? Do you think? Well, it's not easy.
I mean, you know, playing piano and then picking up a guitar and going through school. I mean, you learn that school-based style of music, and even going into jazz school and things like that. So there was that level of technical ability, which I think I realised wasn't something that I wanted to pursue. Maybe because I wasn't ever going to achieve it, and so what else can I find? And you know, like rock and roll and playing 3 chords and all that kind of thing. But in terms of playing the music I play now, I think for me, music at its highest apex is about being able to change who you are and change the way you view things in your experience. So therefore, it's a very emotional base.
Yeah.
And I think music's such an abstract way of showing that.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of driven me to start writing what I write now.
So, like for you, it's essentially a mechanism for transformation, or
yeah, definitely, and they're therefore quite spiritual on that level as well.
Yeah, that's
I worked on aircraft all my life, except for some jobs. Like in Melbourne, I was looking after spares assessing, but worked on the Sabre jets. That was excellent. I mean, it's the first jet that I'd worked on, and we did our mobilities and exercises. But then I moved on to F4s, Phantoms, and I went to, when I was posted to Amberley. So the Phantoms, that was pretty exciting, and I was the officer in charge of rectification of fixing the aircraft when they broke.
Okay.
In other words, I did that for 14 months, and I was posted to the US in 1972 on F-111 training, and I was the officer in charge of the troops that came to Lowry Air Force Base at Denver to do avionics type training.
So you were their first contact when they came from Australia?
Yes, I'd meet them at the airport and I'd send them off from the airport. I was their friend, their officer, their admin person, and I was their padre too, basically.
When you went to your high school, did you go with a group of people from your primary school?
Yeah.
So have you stuck with them, or have you found new friends?
Both. They're still in my group, but I've found new friends as well.
So you've got a much broader friendship group?
Yeah, like people from Torrens. I don't know, I always just used to dislike them, but I'd never met them. But now I'm like best friends with them and stuff.
It's always a rational approach, isn't it? Yeah. And I think that's a question of difference, isn't it? That people always sort of group together a little bit in that regard. How would you describe your friendship group?
I don't know, like good.
I was thinking of things like, are they easygoing, or do they do they get into a bit of mischief, or are they nice with one another?
Yeah.
Well, that's good too. So, have you been through any conflicts with friends over the years?
Not really.
Oh, you're
No,
very
we all
fortunate. In that
get along
regard.
really well. Yeah.
The bottle of wine that we left them with, that they were
That's a
saving for when we came back.
That's a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah, tasted a
Did-
bit scary as well.
Well, some of this is about years and years into the future, when your great grandchildren maybe have children of their own. What are some things you would want to say if you had the opportunity to talk to a few generations down the track?
I thought about this before, but I wasn't not in the context of having children. But
Well,
I would like to.
yeah.
I'd like my grandchildren and great grandchildren to know that they're capable of doing anything. You know, don't be told that you can't. Step out in confidence and and out of your comfort zone.
Well, as you said that, I'm just thinking that's exactly your story, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've gone from where you thought, well, maybe this is the the world I'm in, and it's expanded enormously.
That's
and
right.
you've embraced it.
Yes, and I think by stepping out like that, you are much more confident in yourself, and you grow more. And I just like, there's one thing I would like to have done though, had more education, and I would like to tell the children to just keep learning, you know, and whatever you do, no matter how menial, do it with pride. Take pride in what you do. People will notice it for your efforts, and opportunities come out of those sort of things.